3D Sketch offers a comprehensive suite of sketching tools to help you create unique and complex buildings in Forma site design. Let's design a building to see what's possible. Launch 3D Sketch by clicking on the new 3D Sketch icon in the design toolbar. Let's start with a simple cuboid for our building. Click on the 3D Shapes menu and choose the cuboid tool. For simplicity, let's start with a 40-foot cube. Now we can expand our cube to cover more of our site. Select one of the faces of the cube and click again to start extruding it. You can eyeball the distance, then click, or you can enter a specific distance. Let's enter 100 feet. Repeat the same action in the other direction. Select the line tool from the toolbar, start the first point on the top corner of the building and move your cursor along the edge. Type in 60 feet and press enter. Now move your cursor along the roof until it snaps to the perpendicular guideline and enter 60 feet again. Draw a new line perpendicular to the previous and make it 28 feet long. And add another 28-foot line perpendicular to that one. Finally, draw a perpendicular line again all the way to the edge. Hover over the roof on either side of the new lines you drew, and you should notice the roof is now split into two surfaces. Select the smaller surface. We're going to eliminate this area of the building by extruding it all the way through itself, or entering a dimension of the existing height or more. You can also do this on vertical surfaces. For example, use the edge midpoints to draw a horizontal line bisecting the small wing in the center. You can now extrude one of the vertical faces in or out, which also creates a little rooftop deck below the main roof. Let's add some pitched and angled roofs to this building using a couple of different techniques. First, we'll create a symmetrical pitched roof on the left side. Draw a line from the middle section across the left wing, end it at the edge of the building to ensure the face splits. Select the split face on the left and extrude it up by 20 feet. Now draw a line representing the ridge of the pitched roof. Select the two edges of the roof parallel to the ridge line. On the toolbar, click the Move tool or use shortcut M to start moving the edges. Once your cursor is along the blue Z axis, hold Shift to lock that axis to ensure the move goes down perfectly. Snap to the rest of the roof or type in 20 since that's the distance back down. Next, we'll create a more modern asymmetrical pitched roof on the right side of the building. Draw a line splitting the right wing like we did on the left side. Select the roof edge on the far right and move it up by 20 feet, again holding Shift to lock the movement along the Z axis. Let's add a curve to this building by drawing an arc in the center between the two pitched roofs. Start the Arc by 3 points tool from the Sketch menu. Set the first 2 points at the corners of the left and right side roofs, and the third point to define your curve. Select the small face outside the arc and extrude it down to the level of the roof deck below. At this point, you've taken that original primitive shape and turned it into a fun, eclectic building using 3D Sketch. Now that you have a solid shape, navigate to the right panel and click the plus sign next to Add Floors. You'll see lines on the building indicating how the default floor heights stack up on your design. You can adjust floor quantity, typical floor height, and the heights of individual floors. Once floors are applied to a generic 3D sketch, it becomes a 3D sketch building. This means it will start contributing to the site area metrics as shown in the right panel. It's important to note that area metrics will only be calculated for buildings within a site limit. Like other buildings in Forma site design, you can tag floors with different functions. Exit 3D Sketch and select one or more floor volumes to choose their function from the right panel. Now you can expand the gross floor area to see the area breakdown by building function.